Hi guys, Brad Hawthorne. Well, I'm going to go through with you some of the little tweaks or hacks or whatever you want to call them that I have in my Yetti fish house. And for a lot of guys, it takes them several years to get kind of the system down. And this isn't, you know, some of the stuff's not going to be right for everyone, but I find it's right for me because I spend literally so much time out here. You know, if we're on a 4-day guide trip, I'll just simply crash in my Yetti for the night. Or, you know, if we're going to do a northern Minnesota guide trip, I'll stay in my Yetti. So I kind of use it as, we use it for guiding on super cold days, you know, 20, 30, 40 below. We'll put customers in here. And then when we're working out of town, I'll also stay in here as well. So I want to go through some of the things I use in my Yetti and the way I have it rigged for fishing and everyday use that I think a lot of you guys will appreciate when you're rigging your new wheelhouse. Number one is the catch cover mount. Their mount system right here I found super awesome. I mount them underneath the tables and the fixtures. That way, let's say I traded my house in a few years, or I buy a new one, I can simply take these out and we're not hurting any of the finishes on the walls or the cabinets and things like that. And it's also super universal. So I can move this table, I can have a rattle reel on that side, I can have a rod holder on this side, I can mix and match them any way I want. So here's a hook here. Quite simply, I had to keep it right by the bait pail for wiping off your hands after you pinch heads and minnows or rebait your set lines. If you're worried about these scratching your woodwork, you just take a little felt pad, put them behind there, and then when you're going down the road, they're not scratching your woodwork. And then going over to the mop holders and broom holders. These little guys right here is just a friction fit deal where you can store scoops, brooms, and mops, and they're not rubbing around, they're not bouncing around, everything's in its place when you're going down the road and the guy goes, where's your broom, where's your mop? It's right here, right by the door, so you can sweep stuff out. And they also double as scoop holders too. So here's a perfect example of a catch cover setup that's really just awesome. It's universal. So I extended this caterpillar arm out to get this rattle reel over this hole, and then I have a dead stick in this hole. So literally, this is all one functional fishing system that's out of the way, and again, it's mounted underneath the table. So if I want to turn this table and have it the long way and have one rattle holder over here, I can do that. If I want to have it rigged like this and it like a T section where I have a rattle reel and a dead stick, I can do that. And again, if I sell the house or decide that trade it in for the next new model or whatever, I can take all this stuff with me. So then on to hooks. I've found mounting hooks. No fish house is complete without a lot of hooks. I like these double ones just because you can hang more on them. They're super cheap. You can get them at Fleet Farm for like $3 a pack. Not a big deal. As you can see, again, 9650 trebles. If you don't know, now you know. Put them on every spoon. And this is just kind of the catch-all. Keys, this and that. I have a barometer, old school barometer, because my grandpa had a barometer. Always got to have that. Then I go into basically the kitchen storage area here. And I've got kind of a catch-all. That's a hammock right there. You put whatever you want, vegetables, whatever. Spice rack, I got this little guy on, I believe it was Amazon or eBay for like 40 bucks. And these all stay on here. So when you're cooking or you need salt, pepper, what have you, everything's right here. It's got a knife rack on top. You can store your pens, measuring cups, forks, tools. Everything is right there, and it doesn't bounce out when you're going down the road. So this is a super, like, this is one of my favorite things where there's no reason to suffer when you're cooking in your wheelhouse. Why not have good spices, have good stuff with you, have sharp knives that won't dull out bouncing around in a drawer. So that right there, super cheap, super functional. Another one moving through the kitchen is paper towel holder. I've seen Jeremy Smith do some pretty janky stuff with coat hangers and things like that, but like this guy here, Amazon, $5, 2 screws, boom, done deal. And again, that'll come right out too. I might leave that for $5. I might leave that in the house, but that's another good one because you always need paper towels. There's always a mess in the kitchen, and there's always something you need to clean up. And then behind me, this right here is a shoe rack for a closet at a home. Well, I just took that out and hung it in my Yetti and used it for magazines, electric flay knife, Kleenexes, little bit of emergency heat in case we got to freeze up on a generator or something like that. But this is kind of the catch-all for when you're being lazy at night, you want to read a magazine. And more hooks here. There's hooks everywhere in this house. Hooks One of the most important things you can put in a fish house, because you need to hang stuff, dry stuff, etc. And I have a real versatile hook here I want to show you guys. Super cheap. This guy here hooks on cabinets, doors, whatever you want to do. If you want to move them around, this is a super versatile, super cheap dollar store find for like $2 to $3. So I have a couple of these spaced out around the house too. Going into this section of the Yetti, getting everything out of the cupboards and like readily accessible is super important to me. This little device called a pop-up plate. You put your plates in there and you can just access one paper plate at a time and just keep it full. You know, that right there's probably got 50 plates in there. And now I don't have to worry about plates. I don't say, oh, how many plates are in the house or whatever. I can look here and go, oh, I need to replace plates, or I don't. And super functional. You can get one of these too for bowls. And again, when I sell the house, I can simply take 2 screws out, comes right with me. So I hope those little hacks kind of help you guys with the house and kind of rigging it, kind of making it your own, making it personal. And by all means, you know, there's a lot more you can do, like stuff I'm forgetting, like this here. This is another little line holder for rigging set lines, where I can take 10 feet, 12 feet of tip line out. It's right there. It's always ready. It's not getting all over the floor. It's not getting tangled. And that guy right there was like $9. So you can see from all the stuff I've shown you, there's maybe $150 worth of accessories there that really turn the house from just a house into a fishing, functioning, basically your home on the ice.